Flash floods have killed 12 more people in Sudan over the past week, a Sudanese official said Monday, bringing the death toll since the start of the rainy season in May to 112. Brigadier General Abdul Jalil Abdul Rahim, the spokesperson for Sudan's National Council for Civil Defense, said that at least 115 people have been injured.
The downpours, which began earlier than normal this year, also inundated around 85,000 houses, hospitals, schools, and other government facilities across the country. The spokesman said the deaths include 74 people who drowned, 32 died when their homes collapsed, and 6 died of electrocution.
Sudan's rainy season usually starts in June and lasts until the end of September, with floods peaking in August and September. The United Nations last week said at least 258,000 people have been affected by floods in 15 of Sudan's 18 provinces. We, of course, have been talking about the effects of climate change earlier on in the show during the breakfast headlines. Rita Modia did take updates on what's happening in Somalia, and now they're experiencing a drought. They've gone through 4 cycles, and unfortunately, a 5th cycle is looming, with about 7.8 million people facing, need for humanitarian aid. We've also talked about the climate. So basically, we've been talking about climate change recently. This morning as well, they talked about the climate conference happening in Rotterdam, Holland, where African leaders pleaded for funds to help their countries adapt to global warming. We're seeing the effects. Unfortunately, what we do not see is that the governments around the world, around the continent, are equipped and prepared to handle the effects of these. These floods, just as we have here in Nigeria. NEMA does predictions of rainfall. They tell us, this year is going to be heavier than the last, or we're going to have this amount of rainfall in October, or this amount of rainfall in September, which is going to be very heavy. What are the plans that are then put in place to help people? Look at this video. This is it's not an unusual sight to see in several parts of the continent, right? But what are the plans?
Worse.
Yes, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
As a result of climate change.
I don't know about NEMA's plans, but they've told you.
That's in Nigeria. But in all the other parts of the continent, what are they doing? What are the governments around the continent doing?
And that's why, every time we have this conversation, we need to go. Every time I have this conversation, I always say to you, are we too late?
We're not too late.
Because I understand that moves have been made and African countries contribute the least and some of all of that, but is the worst is yet to come with regards to this.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to continue to get worse, in different parts and in different ways. And governments need to step up. But unfortunately, the concerns across Africa, Millennium Development Goals, SDGs, whatever it is you want to call, a lot of them, climate, I don't think is part of the top 5 priorities of any African government. They have so much more to deal with that we have to deal with.